What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Beloved Hip Hop Miami. This is Season 5, Episode 10, and the episode is titled No Shows and Low Blows. So, y'all, we start this episode off with Flo, and she has her performance. I mean, she's out there performing, and I really felt bad for her because she definitely relied heavy on her dancers because I think that she can work on her stage presence. She was trying to work the crowd, but it was not working at all. She said that on social media, she kept hyping up that Trina was going to perform with her. Trina was absolutely nowhere to be found. I'm just like, girl, you just got to do what you got to do and make the best of it. So once she got off the stage, y'all, she just started breaking down and crying because honestly, the crowd was not really rocking with Flo like that. Like, it seemed like they were absolutely uninterested. So, like I said, she's crying. She's questioning if, this is the right career choice for her. But, all the people around her are just like, don't think that way. Like, you still got up there, you performed, all this stuff. Trying to speak some good stuff into this girl. Now, here comes Marlon. And for some reason, he was able to come in, give her some encouraging words, and Flo was eating it up. I'm like, but I feel like everybody else just told you that. But I guess because it's coming from Marlon, it matters. I'm not really sure. But Flo's girlfriend, Claudia, she low-key had an attitude about it, but this was not the time or the place to bring that up. So, here's the thing. Out of nowhere, Flo, I think she went somewhere else, but we see Marlon and Claudia. They're kind of going back and forth, and Marlon, he decides that this is the perfect time to say how, that Claudia and Flo are a couple. And he's saying this to Flo's sister, Joyce, who has no idea that she's even dating Claudia, or even that her sister is into women. So, here's my thing. I felt so bad for Flo in that moment because this has put a rush on her letting her family know what's going on with her before, this all spreads like wildfire because Marlon said it. Because, baby, when I tell you, if Marlon says anything towards this family, they eat it up because they love him that much. Now, I do respect the fact that Claudia, she was not trying to comment on anything that Marlon had to say because it wasn't her place. But let's go ahead and move on. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and put their little storylines together. The next time that we saw Flo, she was on a date with Claudia. And she is still in her feelings about the performance. She doesn't know where she even stands with Trina because she never heard from Trina that day. I'm telling you, I think that this show was the worst thing that could have happened to Trina, if you were to ask me. Because every time we turn around, we turn left, we turn right, we turn up, we turn down, it is Trina being a weirdo and a mean girl. Like, the fact that you couldn't even tell this girl, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it to the performance. You basically had that girl blowing your phone up. And then for your people to call her back the next day to be like, oh, Trina was stuck in traffic. Trina was not stuck in traffic. I think Trina and her tired eyes were stuck in bed. But she absolutely was not stuck in no traffic. So Claudia, she tells her, like, listen, if you were another celebrity, if you were Cardi B or somebody, Trina would have showed up. And on top of that, this was a Haitian festival. It's not as big as like a Rolling Loud. If it was Rolling Loud, Trina would have absolutely showed up. And I can't lie, I agree with Claudia. I absolutely believe that Trina would have found a way to show up if it was a person who has a name. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was a bigger festival, for sure. And I'm just like, Trina, you should have told her straight up, you're not going to be able to make it. Nonetheless, Claudia has to let her know that Marlon has stirred the pot and he told your sister Joyce that we were dating. So now Flo, she's worried because she has to tell her mom. She doesn't know how her mom is going to take it. And y'all, I can't lie. I was so done with this conversation when Claudia mentioned, like, well, doesn't your sister date girls? I said, well, what is the issue here? If Gael gets to date whoever she wants to, why can't Flo? That makes no sense. That's when I knew a lot of the screws are loose in her mama head. Now, y'all, the next time we see them, we see Flo and Claudia. They are basically preparing themselves to, talk to the mom. And first things first, the mama is Team Marlon all the way. All the way. So, Flo, she ends up telling her mom and her sisters, like, this is Claudia. Y'all are familiar with her, but what you guys don't know is that we are dating. Oh, baby, why she say that? Because her mama is something else. Her mother literally is like, oh, but you're dating her. You can do whatever you want, but can she provide for you? Y'all, what was Marlon providing? Because the beauty bar, that was Flo. The restaurant, that was Flo. The career was Flo. So what exactly was Marlon providing? Mother, can you please explain? Because you ain't making no sense. And it's crazy to me that her mom wants her back with Marlon. That is absolutely insane. So at one point, the mom ends up walking away. You have Gael yelling to the top of her lungs about how, oh, this is so disrespectful to my mom and all of this stuff. And I'm like, how is this disrespectful to your mama? Make that make sense, Gael. So Claudia, she's over Gael talking. So she brings up the fact that, well, Gael, didn't you sleep with this man? You know what I'm saying? You slept with your sister's husband? And next thing you know, the girls are throwing things. Now, here comes the mama. Now, last time I checked, the mama talking about she gonna go in the house and go lay down somewhere. Oh, no. She comes back, y'all. And she's like, oh, this right here, it shows that you're trash. She said that to Claudia. And I'm like, again, her mama's screws are absolutely loose. You're mad because your daughter is dating a woman. But you would rather your daughter go back to a man who slept with her and her sister? Do you hear how crazy that sounds? You would rather your daughter go back to a cheater? And the crazy thing about that is that Marlon not only cheated with Gael, he also cheated with one of Gael's friends, some people that we probably don't even know. There was, last time I checked, wasn't it a potential child that he could have had? No, I'm sorry. We're not living in a time of having a piece of man is better than no man. I'm sorry, Mom. We got options. We not sticking around these piss poor, terrible marriages just to say that we have a man. If you felt that way so strongly about Marlon, you be with Marlon. Like, I just think it's absolutely psychotic that her mother is adamant that Flo needs to get back with Marlon. That sounds absolutely crazy. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so let's talk about Trina real quick. So we see Trina. She is doing some press. And why are the Hollywood twins around? I promise, I just don't like these girls. I don't see their purpose on this show. But let's just talk about them. So, according to them, they are working at Sundays. And it's been a couple of weeks. And they are over it. Because they want to work with Trina now. Even though y'all just said that y'all was coming for Trina's spot. Okay. So, we see Super Cindy. She's interviewing Trina or whatever. And they talk about Trina Day. Which is a day that I think the city of Miami has honored Trina with. And, this year is going to be in honor of her niece, Sugar, who unfortunately passed away. Now, y'all, why do these ghetto twins think that they could possibly get on the project that Cindy and Trina are working on? The Queens Don't Compete project. That's what it's called. I'm like, why do y'all even think y'all can get on here? Y'all don't have not a one song. Why are we even wasting our time with them? Nonetheless, we see that once the interview is over, Trina is trying to hurry up and skedaddle up out of there. So everybody's piling onto the elevator. the twins decide to squeeze their bobblehead asses onto the elevator as well. And now, once the elevator opens, they both slide to opposite sides of the elevator opening. Count to 3. And when Trina walks out, they just start rapping. I said, what in the world is this? And the crazy part is that they really thought they killed it. I'm like, y'all need to go away from Trina with this. Like, I don't care for Trina, but this is not the way for y'all to try to get her, attention. Absolutely not. If anything, why can't you just ask Trick to introduce you to Trina? Especially considering he's worked with Trina for about, 25 years now? Make that make sense, please. So, Trina, she was not here for it. Once they finally shut up, she's like, all right, so where are the cars? Like, I don't even think she acknowledged them. I really don't. Now, they decide to leave or whatever, Trina and her crew, and these two twins are like, yeah, we killed that. We just gotta wait for her to be calling us. You didn't exchange numbers with Trina? Who would she even be reaching out to call you? Make that make sense. Y'all didn't even introduce yourselves as, oh, we're Trick's nieces. Because that's what y'all love to say. I cannot with these girls. Now, the next time we actually see Trina, it's on Trina Day. Now here come the twins again. And I'm just like, could you please leave Trina alone? I'm tired now. So they get the bright idea to go hound her brother. To be like, oh, can you please introduce us to Trina? We're Trick's nieces. Now, we actually see a conversation between Bobby and Trina, and they talk about celebrating their niece's, birthday, and it's bittersweet. Now, in that moment, I absolutely felt bad for Trina and Bobby, everybody in the family, because when you have, celebrations for people who have already passed, it does suck because that person isn't there to fully enjoy that moment. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel bad for Trina, especially the way she has been mourning her niece. I feel like she's still mourning her mother. I just think that Trina needs to go talk to somebody. I think that Trina needs to definitely do a deep dive into herself, as well as get some therapy, because clearly a lot of this is weighing heavy on her. So the Doublemint twins, they actually are able to convince Trina's brother to introduce them to her. And here's my thing. When they started to approach the area where Trina was, all I could hear was Joy. She's like, who are these twins? Now, in my mind, I was a little surprised, because I'm like, wait a second. You were married to Trick for how many years? I'm surprised that you don't know who these girls are. Especially because these girls are running around the city yelling about how they Trick Daddy nieces. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Trina don't want these girls in her face at all. Okay? So she told her brother to get you and your posse right on up out of here. The seating area is only for family. And honestly, in that moment, I was not mad at Trina. Because it's like, why is it that y'all feel so comfortable that you can approach Trina multiple times? I understand the whole situation with Zoe, just because every time that Zoe tried to approach Trina, it was someone else there to introduce her to Trina. For example, the first time, it was, who was it? Super Cindy was supposed to be introducing her. Then the next time, it was Bobby Lights. And then I think the third time, she walked up, and it was, we had already established that these people had met before, but technically it was Sukiyana. As far as these twins, I feel like after that little elevator stunt, she absolutely does not want to see y'all no more. Please stop hounding Trina. Nonetheless, that was that scene. Now, y'all, let's go ahead and move on, because we have this scene with Amara La Negra. I'm sorry, y'all already know I do not care for Amara. So she goes to go see Princess. Now, these two, they are pretending to be friends, and we all know that they are not. Amara is there whining again about how Safari and her, they broke up. And Princess, of course, she thought these two people were still together. Well, pretending to be together. And she's like, well, Ray J, he invited Safari here. Next thing you know, right on cue, the doorbell rings. It's Safari at the door. So Amara, she's trying to leave. Princess convinced her to stay. And basically, we see these two people, Safari and Amara, go over the issues in their relationship. Ask me, do I care? Absolutely not. And you know what? I do not care about Ray J. Don't care about Princess, Amara, or Safari. All four of those people can get off of this show. Like, I feel like I only liked Ray J and Princess when they were in LA. If they are not in LA, I don't need to see them on my TV screen. It is what it is. Y'all, you know what? Let's go ahead and move on because we got to go to Sukihana. Now, as Sukihana, there's a lot to unpack here because Suki is meeting up with Super Cindy, right? They do an interview and it started off okay. However, Suki was talking about her song Casamigos, and I get it. She's trying to promote this song and this new lifestyle that she has. But Suki, I'm going to need for you to be real with yourself. Number one, eating was way more popular than this little Casamigos song that you're talking about. It is what it is. You keep talking about how you're elevating and you're doing this and that. But the crazy thing is that, girl, you are still doing those things that you were doing before in current time. Like, why are you pretending as if this online persona that you have created, it's not that it's haunting you. Your past isn't haunting you. You be the first one to yell out, oh, this is who I am. But when people question you about it, now you have a problem. That makes no sense. So, Suki, at least to me, I feel like Suki has to stop acting like all of this stuff that she keeps mentioning in her past happened a year ago. Girl, this stuff be happening a month ago. And you be over here acting like it was so long ago. I'm trying to elevate my life. No, that's not how that works. Like, that's not how any of this works in entertainment. Like, let's not act like this girl did not just tell Trina that she just got back from London. Yeah, London. The same place where she was yelling all type of sexual things that she trying to do while she out there in like a crowd of people or wherever she was. The point is, who talks like that? Who just yells that type of stuff out in the middle of the street? I don't care about the white people who she was yelling in front of, but it's just like, Suki, you are still doing these same behaviors, but you are acting like you are such a changed woman. You are not. You're the same person. Now, here's another thing. Suki keeps saying that she's trying to elevate, but here's the thing. You're not trying to revamp your public persona, so nobody's taking you seriously. Because the best thing that Suki can do at this point is embrace both sides of her. What Suki can do is she can embrace the fact that she's this sexual being. She says all these sexual things in her music, in her interviews, everywhere she goes. But also she has to start showing a different side of her. And yes, it's going to take people some time to get used to another side of you because that's the only thing that you have led with. Like, not trying to be rude, but Suki has limited herself. Absolutely. The first time that we met you, you were, talking about sexual stuff in your raps. That's fine. However, you added layers to it. You did your OnlyFans, and then that type of stuff went viral. Then we saw you in interviews, the things that you were saying, outlandish. You built up this entire sexual beast, persona. And it's like, I'm sorry, you got to live in that. You did not make yourself a well-rounded persona. Everything that you rapped about for a while that we heard from you, it was sexual. So when you try to transition to a song like Casamigos, People don't want to hear that because that's not the identity that you sold them. And here's my thing. I know that people love to bring up Lil' Kim. They love to bring up Foxy. They love to bring up Trina. But I feel like the difference is that they did not sell us sex on every song. And even if it was mentioned, it wasn't the entire song solely based on sex. And also on top of that, that's not their public persona. They were given, we are black girls, we are rich, we want the fancy lifestyle. They rapped about every designer that you can imagine. I mean, Trina had the whole Diamond Princess thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like the girls had more to offer than what Suki is talking about. But let's get back to this interview, because Suki is now lashing out, okay? Because she doesn't like the questions that Cindy is asking her. Because, of course, this is her first time interviewing Suki, so she's going down the list of things that we know about Suki. Like, oh, we know that you did the video with NLE Chopper, you know, you've done this, you've done that. And Suki is so upset that this woman is bringing up her past. And I'm just like, I get it, but also, Suki, you're acting like a child. And the real reason why you're acting like that is because you hate the decisions that you made. You absolutely do. I really think that Suki hates the road that she has taken to get to be a rapper. And you can't tell me nothing otherwise. Cindy, she's like, listen, Suki is not the right fit for the Queens Don't Compete project. And I completely understand that decision. Because Suki was over there snatching papers and, you know, going off about things that were not relevant to the interview. Yeah, Suki, go sit down somewhere. So, the next time that we see her, though, again, she's still in her feelings about this interview, and she goes to see her sister. So, they talk about the interview, and Suki, she felt so betrayed. And I'm like, why do you feel betrayed? Super City don't owe you. She don't owe you no loyalty. So she felt like Cindy was trying to exploit her. I don't think that girl was trying to exploit you. I think that she was asking you questions that any interviewer would ask you. Now, Suki, she starts to cry about how, you know, I made a mistake. And I'm like, what exactly is the mistake? Which one? Which part of it is the mistake? Because according to you, it sounds like you've made multiple. Number one. Number two, again, you are continuing with this behavior, so stop lying to yourself that you're this changed woman. Girl, just live in it. Like, are you like saying the mistake was being walked like a dog? Or are you saying that, you know, you doing OnlyFans was a mistake? I'm gonna need some clarification. Now, one thing that I noticed in this whole situation is, to me, it seems like Suki is a girl who is broken. Like, I'm sorry, this is bigger than the being walked like a dog and all of this. Because Suki, she keeps saying, like, you know, it's my past. But again, girl, this was like a month ago. Like, you're not making any sense. And last time I checked, Suki is still doing the same things. Nothing has changed with her. Like how she was all up on the floor at the MTV Awards. Like, I'm sorry. If you are saying that you're this changed person, your behaviors need to change just like your music did. Like, I can't even lie. I'm having a hard time feeling bad for Sukihana because, like I said, this is the public persona that she has created. And she continues to feed that persona. So, what am I supposed to do with that? You keep feeding into this persona. You keep doing things or whatever. And then you want to say that you're a changed person when ain't nothing changed. Like, honestly, the problem is that she wants to completely diminish everything that she's done in the past, but still reap the benefits of it. And I'm sorry, sweetheart, it don't work that way. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. This episode wasn't really hitting on nothing. Hopefully the next one is better. But y'all, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.